Hey everyone, this is Alex, and this is my first update from Tbilisi, Georgia, and that is a country of Georgia. So I've been here about 5 days. I got in on around 6 a.m. on Wednesday, and it is Thursday evening. No, sorry, Sunday evening now. So 5 days. So far, my impressions are very positive. My sleep schedule is all messed up right now. um, I didn't really. I was in transit for about, I don't know, maybe 30 hours, something like that. And you don't really get very good sleep on the plane. I think I was taking like 1 hour naps, just kind of, you know, going out and waking up, readjusting myself a little bit, and passing back out. Um, so on the first flight, that was the longest flight, 8 hours to Frankfurt. I did get to watch the second Dune movie. That was actually really good. Like the first one was a little slow. I barely even remember it, but I really like the second one, and I'm looking forward to the next movie. Maybe I'll probably start reading the book in the meanwhile. In the meantime, right? Anyways, so yeah, it's a surprisingly nice city. It's not very big. Well, so 1.2 million people, and it's not super dense, right? So when you're out and about, like, I haven't really seen a lot of crowds. There are people everywhere, of course, but it's not like Manhattan, New York, or something like that, right? Like these, the largest cities, like 10 million plus, 20 million, whatever they can be a little too much, right? That was fine when I was younger, but like today, I don't want to deal with that mess. It's a little too busy, and I really like it here. You've got, like there's some traffic, of course, in the central area. You're going to have more traffic, but it's a reasonable amount of traffic. And so far, I haven't really seen any incidents of road rage. Like all the drivers are pretty chill. There's not a lot of honking. People don't yell at each other or anything like that. Like everybody's just kind of calmly driving, and yeah, so that's been very surprising. There are a lot of trees and a lot of little parks throughout the city, which is also very nice. I was actually going to make this video from a park, but then I got distracted, and now it's already dark out. I mean, it gets dark pretty early, 6 p.m. So that's an unfortunate part. Oh yeah, so with my sleep schedule, when I first got here, so I got here at like 6 a.m. I took a nap, um, and then I always went outside, kind of walked around the city for a little while. Came back home, and I only slept for about 4 hours. So I've been going to sleep at around 11 p.m. midnight, which is my usual bedtime. That's when I always go to sleep. So that was good. But then I was waking up at like 3:30, 4 a.m. And it's kind of a weird time for me to wake up because it's like 9 p.m. in my in Florida where I lived. So kind of a random time to wake up and be like I was very awake. So I would just kind of lay there for half an hour. I'm like, okay, I'm not going back to sleep. Might as well get up. And honestly, it was kind of nice. I had so much time in the day. It's probably like the first time in a long while where I felt like I had enough time in the day. Uh, so I did that for like 2 or 3 days, but then I was actually kind of beginning to worry about only sleeping 4 hours. I'm like, that can't be good for you, like in the long term. Finally, so and then the last 2 3 days, I've actually been sleeping till like 11:30. mm, so that's not good either because by the time you get up at 11, by the time you have your coffee, you take a shower, you get ready to go somewhere, it's already afternoon. And again, it gets dark at 6, right? So not an ideal situation. So starting tomorrow, I will be, I'll set my alarm for 7 a.m. And if I get up early, great. More daytime for me. And Otherwise, I'm just gonna get up at 7 either way. Like I just I need to get into that set schedule. Yeah, not having a schedule is kind of weird. Like still not very don't really know. I don't feel the time. You know what I mean? Like never really know what time it is. Oh, what are you supposed to be doing? Barely even know what day it is. Like, okay, I know it's Sunday. Um, so I bought a local sim. Well, I actually bought a little, little like old timey phone, but I needed that in order to open. I needed a local number in order to open a local bank account to get a card, which it was supposed to be ready tomorrow. So that I'll be going to the bank tomorrow to pick that up. I have Google Fi for my phone, so my US number still works here. And it is supposed to work for at least 90 days, but then I've heard different things. Maybe the 90 days is only for data, and then, but as long as you keep paying your, like the minimum amount with Google Fi, which I think is like $20 or something, the number will actually stay active and will work for like text messages, which is what I really need, right? Because it used to be where everything was tied to your email, but over the last like number of years, everything switched to being tied to your phone number, right? Like all the authentication, um, like you want to log in into your bank account, they want to send you a confirmation number or something, right? So losing that would be very annoying. But so I'm hoping that my number will continue to work after the first 90 days. Whew. Let's see. What else? What else? I've been pretty much walking everywhere so far. Well, okay, so if I'm trying to go somewhere and it takes less than 2 hours to walk, I'll just walk. I actually ended up walking up a mountain by accident. By accident, I didn't realize that it's gonna be like like it's a pretty steep uphill hike. That about like it took me like an hour to get up there, but once you're like halfway up, what are you gonna do? can't really give up. Like it's not an option. I mean, I guess technically there's always an option, but you know what I mean, right? Like you're already halfway up, you just kind of push through it. But they had like a really nice park on the top of this mountain, and the view was really great. Actually, I made a short. I posted a short earlier with the view from the top of the mountain. But the whole city is basically surrounded by mountains, and so yeah, I'll definitely be doing more hiking. That I've enjoyed that. So yeah, so kind of after I get my card, I got my phone. Next thing is to find a more permanent place to stay. So I've rented an Airbnb for a month. I figured that would be enough time for me to get an understanding of what's going on, um, and try to find a place. And I think like I've already looked. I've checked out the local websites for the apartments. So yeah, I can probably get something decent. Um, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I have been applying for a few jobs here and there. I'm still hoping to get like some kind of remote work from the US. That would be ideal. But I have also been applying for some positions here, um, the ones that like explicitly require knowledge of English language, right? Because that would be pretty much the only thing I can do. I don't really speak any Georgian, unfortunately, and I'm not sure if how much I will be able to learn. I do have a little bit of a passive income, so I should be okay for the immediate future. So I'm not too worried about that. Um, one of the interesting things I've noticed here, actually, yeah. So the city is surprisingly clean. Like I think a lot of the new modern cities are kind of clean, but that's something just kind of I've noticed right away. And again, with all the trees in the parks, but they're not very big on coffee here. Like at least where I've been, I haven't really seen like okay, there's no Starbucks. You know, there is a McDonald's here, and surprisingly, a Wendy's. Apparently, I didn't know Wendy's went international. Kind of want to try their burgers because like Wendy's used to be kind of nasty, like years ago, right? When they had the little square burgers, like I did not like those. At least the Wendy's like that was near me, it was disgusting. But then did this whole revamp. I don't know. They changed their menu completely, right? And I think their new stuff is actually pretty good. So maybe I'll try that here. But yeah, so no coffee. I got some. Even like at the grocery store, like the coffee that I got, it's like the some instant type where you just put it into the hot water, and it's so nasty. It's so bad. It's so bad. I gotta use like 4 spoons of it, like little teaspoons, right? Uh, and still, it has like barely any taste, but it kind of works. But yeah, the coffee. Once I get my own place, a more permanent place, I will be looking for ways to redeem that situation because I am in need of my coffee. The So I've always loved um, sparkling water, right? But in the United States, we only have the one kind. The I don't remember what it's called, but it's the Italian brand, right? Saint something. It's like little green bottles, right? Or like light green. And I mean, they're like $5, $6 for like a little 6 pack of them. I mean, not terribly expensive, but like still not really cheap just for water. And over here, they have like 4 local brands of sparkling mineral water, and they cost so a 1 liter bottle cost me about I don't know like 50 cents. Much better, much better. So I've been drinking a lot of that, um, and I don't know. I've always liked the sparkling water. Now, okay, another interesting thing they have here in the stores is they have these giant, I think they're 2 liter or maybe 2.5 liter bottles of beer. Like just one giant bottle. um, yeah, I haven't tried that yet. I did buy I think it was a 1 liter bottle, which is it's like it's just the right amount for me. I feel like it's enough to get a good buzz, but then you know you're not like struggling the next day. But it was pretty funny to see. Like, I mean, I've traveled. I mean, I can't say like I've been everywhere, right? But only been to like maybe 10 countries or something like that. So I've traveled a little bit now. I haven't seen anything like that before. So that was interesting. But yeah, so far I have been spending a little too much on food just because I've only been buying things that you can just like that are already ready to eat. So I'll need to figure out something as far as cooking. And so I've been mostly walking. If it's a less than 2 hour walk, I'll just walk. Not a big deal, right? But then if it's more than 2 hours, I'll take a cab, which has been pretty cheap. So I think the let's see, it's probably honestly we're talking like $5, $3 to $5 a ride, right? And it's like a 30-minute ride through the city. So it's relatively cheap, but two of those a day, it can get to $10 a day, and then multiple days in a row. That's kind of not the best use of resources, right? So today was the first day I tried a local metro, which is actually really neat too. So the way public transportation works here is actually I'm gonna research some more next week and just just try going places by bus and everything like that. But I went on the metro and they just accept whatever credit card you have. Like you don't even need to buy a special card or anything like a special pass. Like that's pretty much everywhere I've been. You have to buy a special little card just for the metro or like just for the bus or whatever, right? No, they don't bother with that here. Any credit card works. They charge. I wonder how much. Well, but they charge you 1 lira, so that's I don't know, like 35 cents or something. And you get an hour and a half of travel time with it, even if you're changing mode of transportation. So you can go on a subway and then you know get off at one station, maybe walk 2 blocks somewhere else, get on the bus, and then keep going. And you're not going to be charged again if you do that within that an hour and a half window. So it's actually super convenient and just like very I think like very consumer friendly way of doing that. So yeah, next week we'll be exploring more with the public transportation in mind. But yeah, I think. Oh yeah. Actually, I meant to do a live. Okay, I'm gonna have to upload this. Okay, so the next video I'll just do a live video, so I don't have to spend time uploading it. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and see you next time.